My name is Sim Ee Waun, and today I'm going to read to you an excerpt from this book, The House on Palmer Road. I wrote it together with my co-author, Madam Si-Hoe S.S. And as you might guess, it's about the adventures of an 8-year-old girl, Sing, who lived with her enormous family in a house on Palmer Road. All these happened a long time ago. This book is set in the 1930s in Singapore, and indeed, the house on Palmer Road is real. This excerpt I'm going to read to you is from a chapter called Go Downs and Guard Geese, and it's about Sing, who goes to a go down, which has always been very scary for her. So here we go. On weekday afternoons, the go-down nearest our house was always busy. Fifth brother, sixth brother, and I liked to watch things being loaded and unloaded there. Sacks of onions, shallots, dried chilies, potatoes, and peanuts were delivered almost every day. When the lorries arrived, the Sikh jagga pushed open the big metal gates to let them in. The coolies, all wiry and tanned, immediately went to work. One man climbed onto the lorry while the others waited by the side. He dragged the sacks off from the top of the pile and placed one or two on the shoulders of each man waiting by the side. With quick running steps, they brought their load into the go-down and came out again in a flash to get more. And just like this, the work was done quickly. What a difference from the go-downs in the black hole. Down the dirt track, beyond the bend at Mount Palmer, were 4 or 5 warehouses that stood near a thick cluster of huge angsana trees. The tall iron gates were always shut, and the buildings were always closed and silent. We had never seen lorries go there, and it was always dark in the deep shade of the trees. From our driveway, it looked sinister. We never dared venture near. Until one afternoon when Mother was out on an errand, leaving Asim at home to look after the babies. Father was away at work as usual, and as I was playing in the driveway, sixth brother sauntered over. "Let's go there and explore," he said in hushed, secretive tones. He grinned cheekily, and his eyes were bright with mischief. He pointed towards the black hole. "Are you sure?" I said, surprised, feeling nervous but excited. "Yes," he replied confidently. "From what I saw in the Tarzan movie, trees are just trees. The black hole is just made of trees." He must have been thinking about it since the day we played Tarzan on the roof. I had always been afraid of the black hole, but I was very curious. Now sixth brother was brave enough to go. I had to join him, or I may never have another chance. He pulled at my arm. "Let's go," he said impatiently. So we set out, with him leading the way. On this hot afternoon in Palmer Road, everything was quiet and still. Even the smoke from the joss sticks in the temple hung still in the air, and no one noticed our 2 little figures pottering down the track. We soon found ourselves at the darkened edge of the black hole, just within the shade of the angsana trees. The gates of the go-downs loomed tall and menacing before us, and everything went eerily silent. We stopped in our tracks. "Go on," I whispered and nudged sixth brother's back. "No, wait," he said, surveying the area. His hands clenched. He was nervous too. Then he noticed that the gate was slightly ajar. "Look," he said, "let's peek in." We inched towards the gate, and just as we got to the opening, we heard a soft rustle, and a girl stepped out into the yard as if from nowhere. She looked about 15 years old, and in her hand she carried a long, thin stick. She glared at us and didn't look friendly. For a moment, our eyes met. I wasn't sure what to do, to smile or just wait and see. And abruptly, without a word, she raised the stick over her head and brought it down quickly. Whoosh! 3 large geese raced past her and squeezed through the gap of the gate. Straining their long necks and opening their bright yellow beaks, they ran straight at us, honking and snapping and flapping their wings in a frenzy. The quiet afternoon turned into chaos. We spun around and raced home as fast as our legs could carry us. We didn't know geese could be so fierce. We never found out what lay behind those gates, and we never went back to the black hole. But then I had my first and only encounter with guard geese. And that's the end of my little excerpt from The House on Palmer Road. Well, in my little storytelling, you might have noticed a couple of words that you never quite heard of before. One of them is go downs, and go downs is an old word that basically means warehouses, where companies and businesses keep all sorts of goods. And the other word would be jaga. Now, jaga is an old word again that basically means security guards. But you see, language is an evolving and living thing, and that's why I always enjoy using language in the work I do. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. See you again soon. Bye.